Hello everyone, my name is Paulo Figueiredo, Global Ambassador for Ketel One Vodka. We are here today at Guillotina Bar in São Paulo. And first of all, thank you for Cocktails Channel to give me this opportunity for this interview, and I really hope this will help your career. So the level of the bartending scene or the cocktail scene in Latin America and the Caribbean, through my job, I've noticed for the last 6 years and traveling a lot around from Argentina up to Mexico and all the Caribbean, that's a huge growth in terms of what used to be about 6 years ago and what is these days. There is a lot of different factors. One is that information is a lot easier to get these days. So from the internet, books, every day more books, some more books in Spanish as well. But basically there's a lot more information out there and actually a lot of new talents that is growing. What I really liked as well is finally, after many years, the bartenders are not looking just for big cities in the world, New York, Sydney, London and whatever. They're actually looking at their own ingredients, their own culture and expressing themselves. So I've seen that for the last about 2 years or so, and these days I see more and more bartenders coming across with their own vision of what is cocktail making. So I really like it. And I'm pretty sure that Latin America will rise in the future, will be a reference many countries around Latin America. So how to prepare a world-class cocktail, or actually for any competition or at your bar, because for me, honestly, the way you prepare a cocktail for a competition is actually the way you prepare a cocktail in your bar for your guests. For me, the competition is not very different than your day-to-day job. So for me, the first important thing is really understand who you are, the things that you like and what you like to work with. Then the second is passion, which is really important. Like whatever you do, could be the kitchen, in this case cocktails, if you do something with love, with passion, it will taste good. That is a huge, in my opinion, that is a huge factor of this passion and love you put into a cocktail, and the customer or the judge will actually feel that in the time that you taste. In terms of ingredients, don't overcomplicate it. What we see these days too much is people using far too many ingredients that at the time when you mix them together, you lose a lot of those ingredients. So keep it simple, that makes sense, work with the story, that's the name, all that elements, the structure. There's many ways to approach these, but everything needs to make sense, from the name to the ingredients to the way you explain, and express yourself and put a lot of love, and I guarantee your cocktail will taste amazing. So globally, I'm very fortunate because of this role, and even previously for the last 10 years traveling globally, what we've seen is that the industry, and now it's not just talking about Latin America, I'm talking about Asia, Africa, Western Europe, Eastern Europe, actually across the globe, the bartender scene is growing. So what in my days could take 10 years to learn, if you dedicated, if you really liked it, these days you can learn in 2 years. There's a lot more books, there's a lot of more cocktail bars, you can travel easier, and that's great. Now, the thing is, due to YouTube and a lot of other sort of, not just YouTube, internet in general, there is this, sometimes some of the younger bartenders, they get influenced for many things that they don't really understand. So my always advice for the younger bartenders is to try to understand how to filter information. You need to really know where to go and get that information. You cannot just look at YouTube, imitate, if you don't have the basics. And it's just like cuisine. Any chef, before they express themselves in their art and what they do every day, they do need to actually learn the very basics, the classics. And then from then, you develop your own style. So my advice to all of you that is starting, or you're starting not long ago, is get your classics, get your history together, learn, do that period of time, do your time learning, make them perfect, make them well. It's never really perfect, but as you can, and then from then slowly start developing your style. And it's just like any industry, but don't forget that, because a lot of people, they jump into things that they don't understand, just putting things together, making things pretty, and just they don't know the reason behind. You should know the reason behind everything you do and develop your own style, and you'll do very well. So how Ketel One actually got to the hearts of the cocktail bartending, the cocktail bartenders. And the truth is care, the family, the Knowledge family, how much they care, how much they're proud of every single step, how much they're in control about everything they do, and their passion they put into it, which is, I think, relates a lot with our industry. And I was just talking about that earlier, like how much passion you actually put into your cocktails. So I think one thing go end to end, and of course, the story of, you know, the long finish that we keep talking about, and that's one of the reasons that the bartenders, they keep picking Ketel One for making long cocktails. And in the very beginning, when we start actually going to bars and, you know, just ask them what's your favorite vodka, what is the vodka you like the most, and then compare back and forth with Ketel One. Over the years, then the bartenders understood exactly what the family was trying to do, a vodka created by cardinal heads with a vision to make the perfect cocktail. And these days we are mentioned in the 50 best bars and endorsed by a lot of bartenders, and we are very, very proud about that. So keep enjoying Ketel One. Thank you.